for Touch ID and Face ID, if you're not sure what you can and can't use, it kind of depends on your device. Um, Touch ID has been around since the iPhone 5S. So, and essentially, since the iPhone 5S, if your phone has a home button, an actual live home button, then you probably have the ability to use Touch ID, which essentially just reads your finger to allow you to get into your phone or device. In the last few years, Touch ID has been introduced onto Macs, the desktop machines. Um, it's a pretty simple process of just uh, going into your settings. And if you go into settings and scroll down a bit, there is a setting called Face ID and passcode. It'll probably ask you to enter your passcode to get into that, because that's the reason there's even an extra layer of security on that part is this is something you don't want just the average Joe to pick up your phone and change, because they can add their fingerprint to your phone and be able to get into your stuff. Face ID is the newer biometric uh, safeguard on your phone. And it was introduced when iPhones started to drop the home button. And these are all the devices that Face ID is available on. And again, let's see, back to Touch ID. You can add I think, five different fingerprints to your Touch ID. So if you have, I've added my fingerprint to my wife's phone and her fingerprint to my phone, so she can get into my phone if she needs to, and I can get into her phone if she needs to. That's one useful thing about adding five different fingerprints to your Touch ID. Another
Karen,
thing is, yes,
did you have to tell it it was a different person or it just wants?
it's just a different finger.
Okay.
It's just a different finger. So it's up to you whether it's a different person.
Okay.
Now, Face ID, I'm not sure you can do that with. Now, I was looking at because I was wondering, okay, if I have my face on the Face ID, will it allow me to go in and add someone else's face, like I add my wife's fingerprint to my phone? Now, there is a button in the Face ID preference called Set Up an Alternate Appearance. Now, I don't know if it will allow a completely different face, or if it's just going to
Yeah.
allow a variation on your face.
No, 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 no. Set up an alternate appearance will ostensibly it was the idea of like if you have to wear a mask or something that partially covers your face, but it also satisfies a need for like like a spousal couple where two
Okay.
different people might want access to the same device. So it allows two faces that can be completely separate to be recorded.
The reason that confused me is there are two different settings. One is set up an alternate appearance, and below that is the switch to Face ID with a mask. They are two separate
Yeah.
settings.
Yeah.
So below the setup and alternate appearance, it says, in addition to continuously learning how you look, Face ID can recognize an alternate appearance. So I guess that goes as far as meaning a completely different face. Because, maybe, Joshin, maybe one day you decided to shave your beard. well, that's a different appearance. So you would add a different face. Now, I don't know how many it will allow. But like I said, with Touch ID, it allows 5 different fingers.
No, you can only do the standard face, and then you can do one alternate
One
appearance.
other one.
There
Okay.
are a lot of cultures where people regularly have to wear a veil or some other
Mhm.
facial covering, and so that
Mhm.
really helps them.
Very good. Very good. That's Touch ID and Face ID.